Good morning. Hope everyone had a nice Thursday. I didn't. All right. What game you guys want me to pull up first here? No one's got a game. Michigan State. All right, we'll start with a big one. All right, Michigan State, Purdue. Last 5 games, strength of schedule. Michigan. Why isn't Purdue's logo showing up? Well, that's why. I don't know. I just feel better if the logo's there. I know that the logo doesn't mean anything. I just think it looks nicer. One sec. All right, so Michigan State, Purdue. Let's try that again. Now the logo's there. Last 5 games, strength of schedule goes to Michigan State. But Purdue's a perfect 5-0 in those games, and Michigan State just 2-3. Obviously, Purdue's been way better. Overall efficiency, 27th to 159th. Offensive rating, 8th to 245th. Michigan State does have the defensive edge, though, so let's give them some credit there. Michigan State takes so many mid-range shots. Look at this. 45% of Michigan State's shots come from mid-range here and here. And if you look at Purdue's frequency numbers, that's exactly what they're trying to do, is force their opponents to take mid-range shots. Purdue should have the edge on the offensive glass. Surprise, surprise. Purdue's offense, yeah. This is, as much as I would like to take Izzo, I think Purdue on paper should blow them out. But games aren't played on paper. Another game. Johnny's are live dogs today against UConn. Illinois, Ohio State. All right, last 5 games. Strength of schedule, Illinois by a mile. Ohio State has better looking numbers, but again, it's because they played an easier schedule. An overall net efficiency, Ohio State 11th, Illinois 80th. Damn, Illinois' defense. I know you played a strong schedule, but good Lord, make a stop. Yeah, look at this. Illinois defense getting lit up. Ohio State takes a lot of shots inside here. In the last 5 games, 53% of their shot attempts come from these two, 12 feet and in. Illinois' offense looks good, but you know what? Look at all these shots that Illinois is taking on the interior here, and look at Ohio State's defense on the interior. Going Ohio State here, man. This team's red hot. I'm not stepping in front of it. Next. Yeah, QB. I'm doing the NBA live show at 4 p.m. later on. You're welcome, user 46. Yeah, it's crazy, Tyler. I mean, running on just a few hours sleep this time of year is just nuts. South Florida, East Carolina. Didn't even know. Do these teams definitely play or is someone trolling? Didn't even know. Yep, they do play. Don't know a damn thing about these. Strength of schedule. ECU's played a stronger schedule, 78th to 155th in the last 5. But South Florida's been way better. 65th to 319th in net efficiency. Good Lord. Yeah, it looks like South Florida has the edge in like every single department on this sheet. South Florida takes a lot of threes, and ECU can't defend the 3. All right. Hey, you know what? ECU should get to the free throw line. There's something. And you know what? Second chance opportunities. So there you go. If you're looking to back ECU, you can look there. Offensive rebounds and free throws. But, I mean, 34% of ECU shot attempts come at the basket. And South Florida has excellent defensive numbers on the interior. So, yeah. I mean, what was this line? 7.5 sounds about right. Probably consider laying it. Wisconsin, Northwestern. Have I considered also broadcasting on Rumble? I'm not sure what that is. Is that an app? So anyway, Wisconsin, Northwestern. Wisconsin's played the much stronger schedule here in the last 5. 32nd to 153rd. Wisconsin's got the offensive edge here. But we know Northwestern isn't really powered by their defense. I mean, that's a little bit concerning right there. 48 to 317. Wisconsin has like the stronger schedule, but come on, man. Yo, look at Wisconsin's numbers protecting the basket here. Are you joking with this? 6th in rim frequency, so they're not letting anyone get down there. This is my website. Someone asked what website I'm using. These are my sheets. So, no website. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to make a case for Wisconsin with these defensive numbers, but you know what? We said the same thing yesterday, and that's why I took Maryland, and they won. So maybe Wisconsin's getting hot at the right time. Yeah, Duquesne was a cool one. I did have some nice wins yesterday, but a couple big losses. My top 5 college basketball bets went 2 and 3. No, the NBA one is on the members page on KyleKirms.com. There's a members page, and you can see the NBA one on there. But the college basketball one, there's too many games, and every time I tried to put it on the site, it crashed. It's like hundreds of games. Mississippi, Tennessee. Oh, wait. Mississippi, Tennessee. Oh, Mississippi State, Tennessee. Okay. That line's up to 10 now. Holy shit. All right, Mississippi State, Tennessee. Let's see what we got here. Well, last 10. Now let's use last 5 games. Let's get a more recent. Strength of schedule, 10th to 2nd. So both teams have played really strong schedules. Tennessee blows them out of the water here in overall net efficiency, 35th to 238th. Damn, Mississippi State's defense. Good Lord, get it together. The offense should be able to score, though. Making shots and grabbing offensive rebounds. Tennessee's defense is a problem. But you know what? Their defense wasn't as good away from home for a lot of the season. This actually doesn't look terrible. I mean, they take a ton of their 37.8% of Mississippi State shot attempts come at the rim in the last 5 games. So they're attacking the basket a lot. Tennessee defensive efficiency at the basket, just 179th. There's something. If you're looking to get to the Bulldogs, something. Tennessee's offense. This isn't that bad, actually. I mean, obviously, Tennessee's offense has the edge, but I thought these numbers were going to be, like, overwhelming. Oh, I like this here. The weakness of Mississippi State's defense is protecting the rim. Look at Tennessee's numbers at the rim. They don't even attack the basket. When they do, they're bad at it. Tennessee's taking all jump shot. Oh, my God. 3-point shooting for Tennessee. 41. Over 42% of Tennessee's shot attempts have come from 3 in the last 5 games. Those NBA numbers. But that being said, Mississippi State doesn't have the best numbers defending the 3, so. Crispy Cap'n, what are you doing up at this hour, bro? It's March Madness hour. I thought you were on an NBA schedule. Primo, I had Blazers at plus 11.5 also. We have, Alex, we have Colorado State, New Mexico. We have it in here. We're going through that. It's actually the last game on the board. Bama, Florida? Sure. See what that line's at right now. Florida, Alabama. Let's go. Whoops. It's not Bama. It's Alla. There we go. All right. Full season, last 10. I guess we could do... I'm always torn between last 10 and last 5 games for college basketball. I like last 10 for NBA. All right, strength of schedule in the last 5. Alabama 16th, Florida 129th. So edge Alabama. Florida's been the much on paper though. Florida's played a lot better, but again, that could be just because they played a much easier schedule. Neither of these teams particularly good on defense. I guess that would explain the 171-point total. Actually, I believe these two set the record for the highest total in a SEC game this year. It was like 174.5 or something. So, yeah, sounds about right. Hey, surprise, surprise. Florida's offense has the edge here in every single department. Wow. Yeah, you think they should get a trip to the foul line or two here? 19th to 355th in free throw rate. Yeah, I mean, Florida's going to score points from wherever. They could score at the rim. They could score from the short mid-range. They score from the above the break 3. I mean, they got the edge everywhere. But I would imagine now that we get to Alabama's offense, that we're going to see the same sort of mismatches on this side. Alabama the edge on the offensive glass. Florida's not going to create turnovers. Alabama's going to get to the free throw line too. Hey, check this out though. Florida, whose defense isn't good, actually has some nice looking numbers here. Protecting the interior, which is, I don't know. I feel like I want more than 4 though to take Florida. I don't know. I don't think that looks too bad for Florida. I should. Someone asked if when I withdraw my winnings, I keep it in a separate bank account. I should. I don't, but I should. I honestly need to be a lot more organized about that. Anyone got another game? Well, when you say I'm not I don't know. Someone said, Kyle, I don't know why you say you're not a college basketball capper. The way you run numbers can work in any sport. Yeah, I mean, I'm good at analyzing data. I'm good at statistics and probability, but I don't bet college basketball professionally. Like, I don't. So it's. I mean, I think I could do well at it if I put some time into it. It's just, man, it's a lot of time. College football is like a nightmare to do. So I couldn't even imagine when that ends. When college football ends, I'm like relieved. I can finally sleep. Couldn't imagine continuing that all year. When are you guys going to hire me for Big Ten picks? Horrible on your Big Ten picks? Bro, no one knows who you are. That's why you're not getting hired. Go out, post some content, make a name for yourself. Texas A&M, Kentucky. All right, 5.5 now. I thought I saw 6s earlier, but it looks like we got 5.5s for this one now. Not Commerce. And Kentucky is UK. All right, what do we got here? Texas A&M, Kentucky, 5.5. Texas A&M finished strong. I honestly thought I was going to get that Ole Miss cover all game. Last 5 games, strength of schedule about even here. Actually, slight edge Texas A&M. Yo. Strength of schedule is about even, and Texas A&M actually a little bit more efficient. Texas A&M should clean up on the offensive glass. Not going to turn the ball over. Going to get to the free throw line. They're going to score at the rim. Kentucky 309th down here. Well, Texas A&M is going to score points, but I don't think that was ever a question. I don't think we ever were like, hey, is Texas A&M going to be able to score on Kentucky's defense? I don't think that was the question. I think the question is on this side. Kentucky offensively, in the last 5 games, first in efficient field goal percentage. Where does Kentucky take shots from? Damn, look at these 3-point shooting numbers. Kentucky in the last 5 games is shooting 50.5% from above the break. That's serious shit right there. They're shooting 52.3% from the long mid-range. They're shooting 55.9% from the short mid-range. Yo, Kentucky just is not missing shots right now. It's crazy. But you know what? Like, that makes me want to take Texas A&M. It's only a matter of time before shots start rimming out. You can't shoot at this kind of efficiency forever. Why do you almost never play over-unders? I do in the NBA. I play totals. It's, I mean, I feel like the totals, in my experience, have been a lot more unpredictable. Ohio versus Akron. Okay. Is this the Big Ten champion? I mean, the MAC championship? Ohio, Akron. See what we got here. Strength of schedule. Hey, both shit. What do you know? Oh, wow. What is this line? Ohio's catching points? They've been way better than Akron. What am I missing? Someone who follows MAC basketball, clue me in here. How's Ohio catching points? Look at these efficiency numbers in the last 5. One team's playing excellent. One team isn't. Ohio has the edge on the defensive side, offensive side. Actually don't like these, though, for Ohio. 37.8% of their shots coming from above the break. But the Zips have some nice defensive numbers against that shot. But on the defensive side, Ohio's going to create a ton of turnovers. They're going to contest shots. They protect the rim well. Yeah, Ohio's the move there, in my opinion. Unless there's an injury or something that I'm missing. Hold on, let me send the invite over to those guys. So if they're waiting to join, they can. Sorry, just 1 second. All right, we can do one more. Anyone else have another game they want to do? Someone said, what app is used for this stat? These are my sheets. These aren't like an app or a website. These are my personal spreadsheets that I use. UNC Pitt? All right, let's do UNC Pitt. That's a good one. Pitt came through for me, man. All right, so we got Pitt. UNC Pitt. If we use the stats on the last 5 games, this is going to look interesting because Pitt's been so hot. All right, strength of schedule dead even, 70th to 76th. Net rating 8th to 31st. Pitt's even got the better offense. Obviously, UNC has the edge on the defensive end. North Carolina not going to create turnovers, but Pitt's not going to get second chance opportunities. That's a wash. North Carolina elite protecting the interior, but Pitt doesn't take many shots down there. All Pitt shots are coming from out here. The above the break 3, and look at North Carolina. 289th defending the above the break 3. I like the matchup for Pitt, man. Let's go to the other side of the ball, though. Yeah, North Carolina is going to be able to score here. I think I got to roll with Pitt. What's the line on that now? 7.5 or something? 7.5? I'm taking it. I took North Carolina yesterday, but it's it's attached. I have like a lot of sheets of data, and these worksheets are attached to them. So when I type in the name, it autofills. Yes, I don't know. I personally don't write code, so I don't know if it's an API. I hired someone to do it. Oh, they're here. Hold on. Oh, shit. They can see this. I should probably get this off the screen.
Somebody asked if I was fleeced up today.
I gotta take a piss real quick.
Yeah, so. No Georgia fleece. You don't have to see that for a while. I'm fucking tired. I'll be honest. It is a tired. I'm like, there's so much basketball on it every minute at this point. It's like draining me at this point. Kyle, somebody said Kyle needs a new chair. He has one. He just can't record in it because it's too high. So trust me, he has a very nice chair. You can tell Andy sniffs his own phone. Okay. Andy, you're obviously a UGA fan. Why have they sucked for what seems like forever? Great question. I have no idea how they can't figure it out. They're getting better, though.
Andy, you've been off lately, someone says.
Yeah, I've been very, like, my best days recently have been middling, I will be honest. I have not had the greatest time. There's been a lot of upsets in college basketball, I'll give that. Yesterday, I saw somebody commented about the Florida State game. I'm sorry. I thought they would give them a game, and they didn't even show up. So that was a rough one. But there were a couple yesterday I was happy about. St. John's was the one that I couldn't even bet it, but I was happy that one hit, and Mississippi State as well. So there were a few of my favorites that hit, but yeah, there were a lot of.
That sounds like a clear-cut case of you not knowing ball.
Yeah.
At least you picked a fucking winner.
Yeah, Toast is going through it right now.
I literally didn't even make a bet today. Like, I have no money. I am fucking broke. I lost like $3,000 yesterday. I just can't even handle it right now.
I'm for one, I was excited to cap a third Florida-Alabama game in 3 weeks, I believe.
Yeah, holy shit.
Exact same thing. They just keep playing each other. But if Florida plays like they did yesterday, they might run out of the gym. So
Don't worry, I bet them today. They will lose by 50.
Okay. I tend to think they're going to lose by 10 to 12 today. Alabama's guards are going to literally get whatever the hell.
I'm waiting to see the pie charts.
User 46 is asking me if I like Heat and Suns money. Dude, when you joined the chat, the first thing you said was thanks for the picks. I'm fading or something. Now you're asking me for advice. Fuck out of here. Somebody hide all the knives at Toad's house.
That's what I was laughing about. That's a good one.
That's funny. Sean has made it. Not much,
Villanova
man.
let us down yesterday too. I thought they were going to win that one.
Man,
I have a laundry list of shit that happened to me yesterday.
Yeah.
It's a fucking joke.
All right, we're starting a minute and a half.
I'm just not as sharp as everybody else in the world.
That's what it must be.
Can't take teams like Baylor and Arizona and stuff. I'm just not sharp enough. I'm someday.
Agreed.
Agreed. Someday I will get there. And the world, I will be on the same side as the world, and I'll cash, and we can all pray and live happily ever after.
I think we're all going to have a good day today.
I doubt it.
Some positivity. I think everybody's going to do a good job today.
I have zero hope.
Someone goes, "Who the fuck is Sean?" As if you're supposed to know everybody in the world.
Scoop equals replaced.
Nah, Scoop had to work today.
He texted us his picks, but I don't think we're going to say any of them.
Yeah. And he's in the comments. He ain't working. He's in the comments. He's sitting there watching.
Scoop was the only positive one yesterday. He texted us that, and he still said he was shit.
No, you were. I thought you were 13-12 also, Andy.
I think I went about even. Yeah, I had a pretty decent.
I added it up. Scoop texted us and said he went 14-11, but he went 13-12 because I added it up.
I was gonna say, guaranteed he wrote his record on the show somewhere. He does it every single day.
Yeah, I definitely was like even because there were a lot of games that I know I got right pretty easily. So.
Shall we get started?
When I lost Boston College and Virginia within Nova in the last 30 minutes, I quit.
Yeah, Nova pissed me off. If Nova won,
stupid.
If Nova covered, I actually would have had my top bets after that terrible start to the day. My top bets would have went 3-2. And at least I would have been like, okay, like today's okay. But Nova went down. That put me at 2-3. And then the bum-ass Sixers, man.
I did win a bet with my wife, though, because I was like, my two favorite bets lost. I said, I bet you we can open up the YouTube app and we don't even have to scroll and there'll be an all caps thing about me being shitty. And sure enough, it's like, those favorite bets.
That's how it goes.
That wasn't me either, so thank you to whoever did that.
Andy, somebody said I was 12-12. We did 25 games.
We did 25 games. Andy, January, February, Tom Izzo?
Yeah. Today I'm gonna side them today. I do like this game. This is going to be a great game. It's just very hard to say that Purdue's gonna have a bad. This is their first game in a week now. They haven't played since Saturday, so no, they played Sunday. So they're rested, ready to go. Michigan State really had to kind of play through that game a little more than I expected them to. I thought they were going to have a little bit of an easier time with Minnesota. The first half, they were bad. They're actually losing at halftime. So they weren't playing the game that I thought they were, but I don't really take much stock in the second game in 2 days thing. I'm more of a third game in 3 games person. That's where I get nervous. So I think they'll be ready to go. Izzo in March is a big thing. And also, I think Purdue's kind of just coasting through this tournament. They don't even need to win a game to be a 1 seed. So I'm on Michigan State.
They're not going to coast through.
I mean, if there was a team to coast through, it would be Purdue. They're full of seniors that have already done this, and they know.
So you're saying they don't care?
The Big Ten tournament doesn't mean shit to them. They
Doesn't
lost
mean
to a
anything to
16 last year.
Yeah, unless they're worried about putting a Big Ten tournament title on their. Yeah.
Sean, I'm thinking of leaning Purdue here. Do you agree with me or Andy?
I'm with Andy here. I'm back in Michigan State plus the 7.5. I don't love it, honestly. I was on Michigan State yesterday, begrudgingly. And somehow they covered, I believe, like by a half a point, I think it ended up being. But this Michigan State team, record-wise, isn't that good. But they're ranked 18th by Ken Palm. They're 5th in adjusted offensive efficiency and 11th in adjusted defensive efficiency. Purdue, obviously, is Purdue. I mean, they're top 20 in basically every category as well. The last time they met up, though, Michigan State held their own on the glass, and that's really my area of concern here when you're playing a team like Purdue. But Michigan State held their own on the glass versus them, and Edey went to the line 20 times in that game, and Purdue shot 51% from the field. I'm expecting him to not go to the line as much in this one, and some regression shooting-wise from the Boilermakers here. I think Michigan State can keep it within this number.
2 for Michigan State. Toast?
Sorry, boys. Michigan State for me as well. I really like them.
You're going to put me on an island?
Oh, you could have Purdue minus all the points in the world. You can have it. So good luck. Enjoy that cash money. But yeah, slow pace for both of these teams. I really like the under as well. I don't really know what Purdue's motivation is, but I know that Sparty has all the motivation in the world. So world on the other side, I'll take my 7.5.
Damn. I'm on my own Purdue island. I don't even we were just looking at the spreadsheets before we started. I think Purdue's the much better team, but hey, yeah. I'm not betting this one, so that'd be my pick though. All right, Purdue for me, all of them on Michigan State. Next up,
oh yeah,
Mississippi State, Tennessee. How about those Bulldogs yesterday?
How about them?
Came through for us.
Oh yeah.
Mississippi State plus 10, Tennessee minus 10, pass. Poll is running. Would you go right back to the dogs here?
Absolutely. This is probably the one that in the SEC that I like the most. Actually, maybe not, but it's up there. I like Mississippi State here. a very, very tough team to shoot threes on, and that's pretty much all Tennessee has. These teams played one time this year in Mississippi State. Mississippi State won the game, I believe, by 7. But I do know in that game, Tennessee hit 8 3-pointers. All of them were by Dalton Knecht and Zakai Ziegler. That's it. They had 8, and they each had 4. That's the only offense that Tennessee has, and it plays right into what Mississippi State doesn't let you do. They don't let you take threes. You have to work inside. Tennessee doesn't really have that. Tolu's waiting there in the paint anyway, so I think it's just such a good matchup for Mississippi State that I don't necessarily know if they're going to win, but I definitely think this will be a very close game. This is a great game for the SEC to start on.
I like your angle there. I'm going to bet this one too. I'm on Mississippi State as well. They came through for me yesterday. I definitely went below 500 yesterday, but Mississippi State was one of my big wins. So I'm fond of the dogs. And we were just looking at this one. We were looking at this one, the spreadsheet in the waiting room before we started, and we liked Mississippi State. Me and the people in the comments liked what we saw. So I'm on the dogs too. Toast? Dogs?
Yep. Sorry for you guys, unfortunately. But yeah, I really like Mississippi State. I love them a lot. Haven't bet it yet, but I plan on it. Listen, one thing that really Mississippi State has is they have Chris Jans, the dentist. And one thing about the dentist is he really likes playing on neutral floors. 5-0 ATS on neutral floors this year. They can figure this thing out. They're going to slow this game down. Sean touched on a lot of points that I was wanted to talk about as far as the last game that these guys played. Or I'm sorry, that was Edey. With the last game that these guys played. and slowing this game down. But Mississippi State plays this game at an absolute crawl. And the one thing that bothers me with Mississippi State is they can't shoot free throws, but Tennessee can't shoot free throws either. I think they have everything inside to match up with Tennessee. So unless Tennessee just finds it from deep, Mississippi State should cover this number.
Sean, are we sweeping dogs?
We are not. I'm laying the points here with Tennessee. Mississippi State got them earlier in the year. But again, just like I said, I'm expecting regression from Purdue, which is why I took Michigan State. I'm expecting regression from Mississippi State here as well. They shot over 50% in that one. And the biggest thing is they forced Tennessee into 16 turnovers in that game. And that is so uncharacteristic from that Tennessee team. And then Mississippi State also got 33 bench points in that matchup earlier versus Tennessee. I'm not expecting that to happen again. It was a perfect storm of everything going right for the Bulldogs that night. I don't think it happens here. And this game's in Nashville. It's going to be a heavy volunteer crowd. I think Tennessee gets it done here.
Yeah, that the turnovers is a good point. That was
Somebody in the comments commented 4 times that this is a home game for Tennessee. It is not. All right, they play in Knoxville. This is in Nashville, complete opposite sides of the states.
Andy.
But also, they lost at home a couple of times this year, so they're not the greatest home team anyway. So, and he said Mississippi State, very good neutral site. So, it is not a home game.
It's okay, not a home game.
It
angered me.
Tennessee?
What?
I'm just kidding.
It doesn't say that.
They see
Oh,
the
okay.
Well, actually, I
Nashville
think
is
ESPN
Vanderbilt.
still shows the at
Probably,
in their
yeah,
thing.
they probably-
I'm pretty sure they do.
Yeah, they do because I had a problem with it yesterday.
Wisconsin plus 5.5, Northwestern minus 5.5, and I don't know if I'm way off here, but if Wisconsin has snapped out of the funk they were in, how do you lay 5.5 points to them with Northwestern? Am I missing something? If Wisconsin's through that slump that they were in, and we're through that, then I wouldn't even is Northwestern that much better than Wisconsin? Toast?
I don't think they are. I have no idea what this line is doing, to be dead honest with you. I would take the minus 5.5 just because it doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, I this Wisconsin.
It looks like
team,
it's at 3.5 now. So did I mess that up? Hold on, let me see if I.
No, it was at that.
It was at 5.5. Okay, I was gonna say.
I think on the pick graphic it's probably a 5.
So,
that might be.
but yeah, I mean, Wisconsin played very, very well yesterday. What'd they shoot? Fucking 99% from deep or something like that. So, it's just, I just, yeah, it's hard for me not to think that Wisconsin or Northwestern finds a way to beat them here today. But yeah, I don't know.
Sean, would you agree with Toast? Northwestern?
Oh, that's what confused me. Okay. They are getting points. Okay.
Oh, I messed it up.
Oh, my mic was off. I just realized.
I messed it up. Okay, so these graphics right below, that's what's messed up. Holy crap, that was confusing.
Okay,
me.
yeah. I love Northwestern net if I'm getting 5.5.
Cool.
All right. 4.5 now.
So you're on Northwestern plus the points. Oh, man.
Yeah.
That was throwing my brain in a blender.
So did me too, dude. I was like, wait, man, I fucked that up.
So the graphics right here above the chat, those are wrong. The pick graphics are correct. And let me redo the poll. Phew.
It's early. It's early.
We got there.
There's been a lot of basketball on.
Yeah, holy shit. All right. So there we go. Now everything makes sense. All right. There we go. Sean, would you lay the points with Wisconsin or take them with Northwestern?
Yeah, I'm laying them with Wisconsin here. They were in a bad way down the stretch, but I was really impressed with their performance last night. Northwestern is no slouch in their own right. They're comfortably going to be in the March Madness field. On defense, I think you can have Northwestern. You can have your way with Northwestern, but they do put the ball in the bucket, averaging 74.1 points per game, and they're third in the country at three-point percentage. But that being said, I think the difference here is going to be health and the Wisconsin's ability to dominate the boards in this one. Northwestern's obviously going to be without Matt Nicholson. He's not. I only averages 4.3 rebounds per game, but he's still a 7-footer down there in the post, making life harder on the other team. He's not going to be out there for this one. And I think the Badgers, having an easy game last night, were able to pull guys and rest them. And I think they're able to get it done here versus the Wildcats.
Yeah, that's kind of the side I want to get to also. Andy, what do you think?
Yeah. This one's the there's always a game at the end of the day where I'm like, damn, I was on the wrong side, but it felt so like it felt so right at the time. This is the one. It feels like Wisconsin's the right side because I mean they dropped 80 on one of the best defenses in the Big Ten. That's
one of the best road
impressive enough.
defenses in the country.
Yeah, really, it was.
Shot
I mean,
16 from 25 from deep. You guys
I
think
know,
that's-
and I know
think
you
that's gonna
can't.
happen again?
No, you can't replicate that. But they were just so good that it's like the next day you think they're just going to be awful. I don't.
I don't think
I
they're
don't
going to
see
be
it, so-
awful. But
I don't
the
see-
pie
so
charts tell me something different.
I know. I'm gonna side them, but I can understand why somebody would think Northwestern because a lot of what Wisconsin did isn't replicatable. You can't replicate that, but I think they'll be able to come close to it. They looked really good. Tough to go against that.
Yeah, I'm siding with Sean and Andy here on Wisconsin, putting toast on an island. But
Smart man.
the commute. I'm not going to bet it though. I was considering it while you guys were talking. If I was going to add this one to my list, I don't think so. But it would be Wisconsin for me. So our poll is towards Northwestern though. Community agrees with toast. Someone said. Oh, shit. Toast is going through it, man. The comments.
Oh, I can't even pretend like I'm not. I don't even. Yeah.
South Carolina, Auburn. So Andy, we're in the SEC. I think Andy's one of the only people I've talked to that actually believes in this Auburn team in this SEC tournament and in March in general.
I'm winning it. Yeah, I'm winning it.
I think the consensus is Auburn's fraudulent. And I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's what I've gathered from what I've seen other people say. I know that you don't think that, though.
No, I think the idea that they're fraudulent is understandable because they haven't necessarily had to prove that they're the best team in the SEC or that they're up there because they have had an easier schedule and their SEC schedule was even pretty easy based on how it worked out scheduling wise. But I think they are miles better than South Carolina. They beat them to a pulp earlier this year. And the line was to a pulp. Earlier this year, they decked them. That game was, I believe, a similar line, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been 10. It was close within that range, and they won by, I think, 30. It might have been, actually, they won by 40, I think. Not saying they're going to do that again on a neutral floor, but I would be on Auburn here because I think that team, this matters to them. When we talk about teams that don't necessarily care about the conference tournament, that team wants to win this thing. I mean, this team wants to prove that they're, I think, the best team in the SEC. I think they have the most loaded. I think they have the best roster overall because they play offense and they play defense, which not everybody in the SEC does. So I think you're getting a full workload when you have to play Auburn, and I don't think South Carolina has the offense to keep up with that.
Oh, man. I want to – all right, let's bring Toast up. Toast, I want to bet Auburn, but I don't know if I faded South Carolina yesterday, took the loss. I feel like whenever I bet South Carolina, I win, and whenever I fade them, I lose. So it's like, why would I consider fading them? But I really want to get to Auburn.
Yeah, I would pick Auburn too. I do not trust this South Carolina team. So, so Scoop continues to win with them. Everybody that bets them continues to win with them. So I would keep on betting them if I was you guys, to be dead honest with you. But this Auburn team, I agree with everything Andy said. So it's Auburn or pass for me.
Man, Toast on Auburn too. Sean, are you on South Carolina?
Yeah, I went back and forth on this game, but Paul's, I think I got to ride with the Cox. Auburn smoked them earlier this year, as Andy pointed out, but they also shot 60% from the field in that one and 60% from three. That's just not a performance that's replicable again. South Carolina has all the recipes to keep this as a tight game. They are second in the SEC in fewest turnovers, and they are first in scoring defense. And if that didn't get you to side with South Carolina for me, I got one more thing to say.
What does he have? Did he get a Cox? Oh my god! Oh my goodness!
He's repping Scoop.
That's good. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna side with Sean of the community here. Even though I think it's a sneaky sharp spot to lay the points with Auburn, but South Carolina just finds a way to get it done. When Scoop said I'm boned up for this game yesterday, I was laughing. I was laughing like hours after the show about that.
Yeah. One more thing. Auburn this season played 5 neutral site games, which is a lot. They're 4-1 straight up, and they won the 4 games all by at least 15. So
really,
yeah. But those teams were Notre Dame.
A couple of those teams were not good, but one of them was Indiana, which was a good one. All right, you're supposed to be on my side.
I'm giving
What is that?
context to the
I
viewers,
get
Andy.
I thought it was.
But
Give a
Indiana's
little
a good.
context.
But wouldn't you say like South Carolina's only like a little bit better than Indiana on paper? Like
I would say they're much better than
I don't know
Indiana.
about that.
53%, 38% on South Carolina. So community is on the Gamecocks. Next up, Toast, it's Johnny's time.
Oh,
Shipley was in the
What does that have
comments
to
of.
do with me?
I assumed that you would like to talk about the game.
Oh, I thought you meant like I did something or something. I was like,
No, I was saying next game, and I got you on the screen.
Oh.
What does that have to do with me? I'm not playing in the game. All right.
You started saying Shipley, so I thought I missed something.
No, Shipley said in the comments that he thinks the Johnnies are live here.
Oh, yeah. Well, so do I. So
Okay, so you're on St. John's then.
yeah, I am. Hold on. Let me get my notes out. I don't have my notes ready for this one, so hold on.
I thought you'd like to talk about the game.
Like,
Yeah, it's
what are we doing
6:30
here?
a.m. I've lost $5,000 over the last 3 days. I'm just not here right now. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but yeah, fuck the Huskies. That's just right. Give me Patino at home at Madison Square Garden, one of the hottest teams in the nation right now, scoring 91 points yesterday. Big bad UConn can suck it. I'll take the points.
Analysis: Big bad UConn can suck it. I'll take the points. In-depth stuff there.
Yep.
Sean, I'm actually trying to get on the other side of this one. I'm trying to lay it with UConn again. I was on UConn, yesterday. Would you lay it?
Yeah, I have as much hard-hitting analysis as D just pointed out there. Simple for me. UConn is a machine, and I am not. Every time I one time this year I tried to fade them, and it worked out with Creighton. Other than that, I've just ended up looking like an absolute idiot after the game. They played earlier this year at MSG, where obviously this game's going to be played as well. UConn won by 13. St. John's may be playing better basketball now, but it's tournament time, and it's UConn, and I think they expect them to win comfortably here.
Yeah, I'm with Sean on this one. UConn's been good to me this year. I'm not going to turn my back on them now after they came through for me in the second half yesterday. I'm on the Huskies myself. And I'm assuming Andy's on the Huskies because he said, and I quote earlier this year, this is the best college basketball team, quote, he's ever seen.
Yeah. And I stand by that still and to this day. But I do hate going against St. John's because I do like what they're doing there, and I've kind of jumped on that
fading
train.
UConn.
But no, I'm on UConn. That's why I said I hate going against
Oh.
St. John's because I had them yesterday, and that one felt pretty good because I think that was more Seton Hall just literally cannot play away from the Prudential Center. I don't know what that's about. They play in an NBA arena anyway, so I don't know necessarily why they're struggling to do it, but anywhere they go besides New Jersey is bad. So that was more why I thought St. John's was going to dominate yesterday. They did exactly that. UConn is, like he said, perfectly. They're a machine, and I'm not getting off of that right now. I think they are going to know this game's a big game for St. John's, probably the biggest game in St. John's recent 20 years probably. And I think they know that, and I think Dan Hurley wants to smash Rick Pitino into pieces like he did late in the game last time. So
He wants to
UConn.
smash Pitino into pieces, Andy said.
Yeah.
Pow-
You know how hard it
powerful
is to
stuff
be
there.
So shitty and not just eviscerate Andy for those comments about UConn. You know how hard it is not to be able to say anything?
50%, 42% on UConn. So community is slightly siding with me, Andy, and Sean there on UConn. There are a lot of people taking the Johnnies here, though, Toast. You're not alone.
It's a home game, so
It means nothing. Yeah.
Toast is
Sorry.
so defeated, bro. All right. We got Ohio State.
Did you see my last 3 days?
Yeah, I feel for you. Ohio State, Illinois. Line is 4.5. Let's see. Poll is running. Cast your votes. I think this one's simple. I'm not jumping in front of the truck right now. This Ohio State team, throw out the first 80% of the season because it doesn't even mean anything. They're a completely different team. I don't know what has changed. I think they made a roster shift or something. Because I heard someone talking about it. I haven't followed it that closely, but I was on Ohio State yesterday. They came through. Going on Ohio State again. Not to mention, Andy needs Illinois to lose for his Twitter reputation.
oh my god, dude, I'm
Actually,
gonna
let's
get
bring
ripped.
Andy
Well,
up.
no, that's tomorrow.
Let's bring Andy up.
My I'm going to get roasted by Illinois Twitter if Nebraska loses today. So I'm going to be on that one. But Illinois, I need them to lose today.
For those of you that don't follow Andy on Twitter, he got called out by somebody because he said Nebraska and Illinois are basically even, but that was taken out of context. It's not even.
It's a long take, but
he needs Illinois to lose. So
if I could do a victory lap on Illinois before they even play Nebraska, that would be amazing. But no, I have Ohio State anyway, and I wrote pretty much the same thing you just said. I put train in front of it instead of truck. I'm not getting in front of this Ohio State train. I understand that this is a step above, right? Other than the Purdue game, which we talked about, that was the first game after Holtman got fired, and there was a lot of emotions in that, and it was a home game anyway, so whatever. Other than that, they've pretty much played the bottom feeders of Big Ten, except Iowa yesterday was coming in hot, and they just didn't look like they could do anything against this Ohio State team for the first half of the game, and it got a little closer, but then it got ugly at the end. Ohio State's just a machine right now. They are crazy right now. I know Illinois is good, but I'm not getting off of this right now with Ohio State. I think they're a tournament team if they win today, and I think they know that. So Ohio State.
Scoop tells us he can't do the show because he has to work. We're doing the show. He comments things like, Sean is more attractive than me.
He comments the truth. That's what he does.
All right. Would you agree with us, Sean, that Ohio State is the move here?
Yeah, I even put down in my notes, what the hell even is Ohio State? They were like a bottom tier team, fired their coach, and they are the Milwaukee Bucks all of a sudden. Yeah, it's Ohio State or a pass for me. There's no way I'm betting against them right now.
Yeah, I haven't bet this one either. I would imagine everyone's coming in on Ohio State, which has me a little scared. Toast?
I'm on Illinois. I don't know. Yeah, obviously I don't know what I'm doing right now, but I don't know what you guys are seeing. I mean, who has Ohio State beat that's even within the same floors as Illinois? I mean Purdue. I guess that was it. One. I mean, Rutgers, Michigan, Nebraska, Michigan State. I mean, Iowa. All these teams are
Michigan State's not bad.
Much worse than Illinois. I don't really care. Illinois and Michigan State are not equals to me in any way, shape, or form. So I will go to that with my grave. So I'll lay the points with Illinois here with the world on the other side playing Ohio State. I have no problem doing that. Illinois has been one of the better teams in the country this whole season. So they're trying to probably get a 1 or a 2 seed in the conference or in the NCAA tournament. So the Illinois defense has been suspect at times, but I'll take this amazing offense and suspect Ohio State defense. I'll lay the points with Illinois.
So Toast hops onto the Illini Island here by his lonesome, laying the 4.5. The rest of us on Ohio State. And
look at those pie charts.
Yeah.
Now that's what scares me a little bit.
Doesn't scare me at all.
Very, very public.
Look at the name under mine, and then look at the name under yours.
53%, 41% in favor of Ohio State. So community agrees with us. Let's go back
especially with the world on your side. Always lose those.
Let's go back to the SEC, and we got Texas A&M versus Kentucky. Yeah. Texas A&M looks strong. Well, actually, I mean, you know what? Ole Miss hung around in that game.
Yeah,
but Texas A&M was in control start to finish. I'm leaning towards A&M plus 5.5 here. I kind of think they'll have their way with the Kentucky defense, and I don't want to lay any sort of number in the game like this. Am I crazy?
No, I don't think you're crazy. I just took the over, I'll be honest. With the side in this one, I don't really like backing Kentucky in the SEC tournament. I know they don't really care. I know Calipari does not care about this tournament. They don't win it ever anymore. They haven't won it in like 7 years. They don't really give a crap. But I also know I don't really like this A&M team unless they're playing Ole Miss. Obviously, the last 2 games they look pretty good against Ole Miss. But other than that, they've pretty much beaten nobody of note or played close with anybody of note. So I'm just gonna go the Kentucky over, and I'm not afraid of the neutral site over because I don't know if you've been watching, but the SEC games have been pretty high scoring to this point. Yesterday, there was an overtime game. Team was in the 80s. Both the Georgia and Florida game, they were in the 80s. So these have been relatively high scoring games in the SEC to this point. So I'm just going to go over.
Sean's going over. I mean, Andy's going over. Sean's up now.
Yeah, it breaks my heart, but I'm laying the points with Kentucky here. A&M has actually been like my squad all year. I've been like telling people like don't let them get in the tournament. They can make a run. But I think when they lose today,
but you're turning your back on them.
What?
You're turning your back on them.
Yeah, I am. I have to. I'm low key a jilted lover. Every time I back them, they fuck me, and so I'm gonna ride with the Wildcats here. They come in fresh. I think they're gonna be able to shoot it well. A&M did beat them in overtime earlier in this year, but they also shot 30 free throws in that game and got it done in overtime. I think a well-rested Kentucky team here is going to be able to shoot the ball well, and I don't think A&M is going to be able to keep up with them, sadly, because I want A&M to make a run in the tournament.
I'm hopping on the other side. I'm siding with your squad then. I'm going on Texas A&M. Toast, who's right?
You are. Texas A&M for me. Just think that I like Andy said, Kentucky's had a history of walking through this tournament. I think they've lost back-to-back in the first round of this in back-to-back years. Yeah, they lost by 7 to Vandy last year, and then in 22 they barely beat Vandy. So yeah, they just haven't played well in this tournament. I have no problem taking my chances with a team that's kind of desperate right now. So plus 5.5, I'll take it.
Let's do it. So me and Toast on A&M. Sean's on Kentucky, and Andy was too much of a coward to pick a side.
Yep, exactly.
All right, so we got 66%, 23%. So you guys, the viewers, love Kentucky. So me and Toast are on an island here on Texas A&M. Next game, Texas Tech, Houston. And, I mean, I know Texas Tech had an impressive win over BYU yesterday, but who is trying to step in front of Houston right now? Holy shit. Team looks like a machine.
Oh, can I get that? Can you clip that, please? Text, please. Houston is a machine.
Because you have it. Yeah.
No. I didn't say
that. When did that happen? That didn't happen.
I said they look like a machine, not they are. And they're playing a team that can't play defense, even though they made BYU shoot about 8% from 3 yesterday. What were they, 7 of 70 from 3 yesterday, BYU?
I don't know. I stopped watching.
I guess I'll put Houston up just because there's no way I'd take Texas Tech. But actually, you know what? I'm putting Texas Tech up. I'm not betting it, though. Just because fuck Houston, that's why. Andy?
Yeah, this conference tournament, I will be honest, it's been the worst, probably. There's been a lot of blowouts. That Houston game's a perfect example. That was a game that I thought, at least because Houston's not necessarily a team I'm expecting to blow people out, they went and blew out TCU, who just blew out Texas, and everybody's getting blown out in this tournament. So I'm laying it with Houston. I think it's going to continue. I think they're far better than Texas Tech. Yes, Texas Tech held BYU to that shooting, but I think that was more BYU just being ice cold. I mean, sometimes it happens. Sometimes you just don't have it. Houston's just going to stuff this Texas Tech offense and get enough done like they did yesterday against TCU. So I think TCU and Texas Tech are equals on the defensive side. If not, TCU's better, and Houston did enough there. So I think they'll do it again.
Toast Texas Tech?
I would not bet Texas Tech. No, I would do Texas Tech team total under 61.5 or Houston minus the points. Either way you want to look at it. So, yeah, I tried to get in front of Houston yesterday with TCU. Obviously, that didn't work. We already know that. But this TCU team, or that TCU team, is kind of, I mean, I don't really even want to say them and Tech aren't really very good right now. Neither really playing good basketball. So Houston, if Houston's engaged, they should be able to slaughter this team.
All right. I'm sticking with Texas Tech. Sean, are you with me?
I am with you. It's Texas Tech or pass for me in this one. I obviously know Houston beat them by 300 when they played earlier in the year, but that was also in Houston where nobody goes in and beats the Cougars. This is a neutral site game, obviously, for the Big 12 tournament. And the Texas Tech is coming off a great showing last night versus BYU. Could have been cold shooting from BYU. I prefer to think it was Texas Tech having a really good showing on defense. And I think if they're able to do that same type of performance again, then they can keep it close within this Houston team. It's hard to beat Houston. I don't think it's as hard to keep it within 8.5. I mean, you're almost getting a full double digits there. And that being said, I don't trust, like, same thing with the tournament coming up. Like, everybody, I have had people ask me, like, oh, like, who's your pick to win it? I'm like, dude, I got no fucking idea right now. I got to see how the bracket comes out. But one thing I can tell you is it's probably not going to be Houston for me because I don't trust this team in the half court. If they're not getting turnovers and they're not getting transition points, I don't trust them to be able to beat good teams in the half court.
I'm with it. I'm betting Texas Tech now.
Toast loves Houston, so he's like,
It's just
don't insult Houston in front of Toast.
The
I
offense.
like Houston. I love their
absolute
style of
joke.
play, but I don't trust them to be able to.
And don't worry, guys. Don't worry about 8.5. You can pick up 9.5s, 10s here soon. So just give yourself a minute.
I got 8.5 earlier.
I don't need 8.5. I'm taking the money line.
Okay, well just wait then, because it's going to continue to go up too. It's at 350 now. It'll
What
go
time's
up
this game?
400.
7.
This is
All
7.
right, I'll wait.
375 on Bet365.
Poll is all over Houston. Everyone in the comments is taking Houston. Scoop is in the comments saying he likes Texas Tech. 72%, 16%. Someone said this substitute guy is dropping knowledge. Yeah, we didn't just pick a random guy off the street. He does do this. Hey, you want to talk college basketball? Have you ever done it before?
Yeah, I want a raffle to be
here. Pittsburgh, North Carolina. North Carolina came through for me yesterday. I laid the points. Unfortunately, I didn't put it in my top bets on the website or anything. I should have, because I really did like it. So here we are again against Pittsburgh. I don't know how you don't take Pittsburgh. This team has got, as Toast likes to say, what do you always say? They got the beanstalk up their ass. What do you say? Magic beans or something?
They got. I don't know what I.
He's like. He has a phrase. A beanstalk?
I hope he's never said they have a beanstalk.
Oh, he's got a horseshoe up his ass.
He's got a horseshoe up his ass. That's what you say. Why beanstalk? What the
Where
hell?
did beanstalk come
I don't know. Pittsburgh's shooting the three-point shot very well, and it happens to be the only weak spot of North Carolina's defense. They just continue to come through. This Pitt team, second half of the season, has just been on something else. And they came through for me yesterday. I'm not turning my back on the Panthers. Give me Pitt. Sean, do you agree?
I don't agree. I'm backing the point. I'm laying the points here with North Carolina. I mean, this is why Davis and Baycott came back, right? They want to win the ACC. They want to get home and win the Natty, get back to the Final Four after last season. We're going to see their best effort every single night. And I just think they have too much firepower and they're too deep for this Pitt team.
North Carolina it is for Sean. Someone says, Kyle, I regularly confuse beanstalk with horseshoe. You're good. Andy, you're with me, right?
No, I am not fading North Carolina again. I thought Florida State would play a close game with them yesterday, and instead they came out and ran circles around them.
I don't think you know Pitt ball like I do.
Okay, I know Pitt relies. What?
It's someone who knows how to get it done.
Jeff Capel. Yes. I think Pitt relies a lot on Hinson. I look at them very similar to Tennessee and Wake, teams that rely on their top guys. When you're facing UNC, they can kind of key in on that guy, and everybody else around him is going to have to do a lot. And I don't know if they have enough to make that up, because I know UNC yesterday was firing on all cylinders. And if they come out like that again, they're going to punch Pitt in the mouth pretty quickly. And I don't know if Pitt has anything to respond. So
yeah, clearly you haven't watched Pitt ball, because
you're right.
That's what they do is respond. Toast.
Well, they were winning most of the game yesterday. They were blowing them out. And then it was a close game at the end.
Yeah, took their foot off the gas. They also show mercy to their opponents, Pitt. Jeff Capel. He's a merciful guy.
That's good.
Toast, Pitt.
Yeah, unfortunately.
A confident pick there from Toast.
Yo, when you're running like I'm
Toast
running,
gives out
really
picks like Snuffleupagus.
1,000 people, and it's really hard to get in front of 1,000 people and act like you're confident unless you're just full of absolute dog shit. So, I'm not gonna pretend like I'm on fire or anything like that. I am what I am. So, but yeah, I think that Pittsburgh's gonna slow this game down to an absolute crawl as much as they possibly can. 13th in average possession length in the ACC. North Carolina comes in at number 2. So obviously it's a definite huge contrast in styles here. But one thing that I like with Pittsburgh is that they played well yesterday and they shoot the 3-ball well, and they're probably going to need that to stay in this game. Obviously, North Carolina defensively does everything well except for turning teams over. So Pittsburgh's going to have a lot of chances and I think a lot of shots. So obviously North Carolina can defend very well, but I think that Pitt makes this game a dogfight, slows it down as much as possible. They're a lot bigger than North Carolina too, so that's one thing I like, and the experience as well with guys like Blake Henson and stuff like that kind of match up well with North Carolina. So obviously the world's on one side. I actually really like 7.5 with Pitt, but yeah.
Let's go. Me and Toast. We're on an island. Let's do it. That's a good pick, Toast. Pitt, Brett Capel. What's his name? Brett Capel?
Jeff
Capel.
Jeff Capel. All right, next up.
Who's the old Pitt head coach with the Wisenhunt? It's Ken Wisenhunt night.
You're thinking of Mike Tomlin.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, that's a common mix-up. Those two.
The classic mix-up. So we got Providence plus 4.5. Marquette minus 4.5. Villanova should have got this done. Sean, are you a Nova fan? Because I'm assuming from Philly, right?
Yeah, I am a Nova fan. I hate this new coach though, Kyle Neptune. I don't think he's it. But we'll see. I guess he did play better down the stretch a little bit, but we'll see. It's only year 2 with him.
Well, would you take is Kolek back? That's probably the first question.
No.
He's
No,
he's not back.
done.
He's done for the Big East tournament, or he's done
Yeah,
for the season.
Most likely, yeah.
No, he's playing in the NCAA tournament, they said. But they also said he was playing in the Big East and he's not playing in that.
I was going to say they definitely
definitely
said he was coming back for the Big East. They definitely said that.
Yeah.
So Toast, would you take Marquette here? I mean Toast, Sean.
No. Let the record show though, I am hate picking Marquette because I had Nova plus 4.5.
Me too.
Last night.
Oh, you had
Ruin
4.5?
what would have been a green night if they had covered. If Marquette just couldn't get the tip in at the buzzer to end regulation, and then we're gonna hit a bullshit free throw with a couple seconds left to blow the cover again. So yeah, I'm hate picking, but I also do like Providence in this one. In all seriousness, I think they're gonna feel the Kolek injury tonight. I don't think they have enough guys that can step up and score with this Providence team, who's just playing phenomenal offense so far in the Big East tournament. And also, Providence is a really good defensive team. They held Marquette to 57 points earlier in the year when they met up. And I actually think the Friars are going to win this one outright.
Outright. Okay, so that's a good start because that's actually the way I was leaning also. Andy, I don't know how much of yesterday's game you were able to catch because you were working. But I'm wondering if, because I wasn't able to watch much of it, did Creighton look bad yesterday or did Providence look good?
No, I thought Providence looked really good. Their defense was very tough yesterday, pretty much from the beginning. Like, they got punched in the mouth early. They were down like 13-6, and then they just picked it up immediately. They picked it up, and they never looked back. So I think it was more Providence. I didn't think Creighton looked that bad.
So you backing them here, the Friars?
Yeah, and I know the public's on them, so it hurts. It sucks because I really think everyone being on them makes me feel like it's less likely here because I think
I'm with
everyone's jumping on this with how good they looked. I think that's how you know they look good. Like, if Creighton had looked bad, people would have been like, it was all Creighton. But no, Providence looked that good that everybody's jumping on them. I'm going to jump on them too. I think they might win outright too because of Kolek not being there. That gives them a significant advantage at the guard position with Devin Carter. Obviously, he's not that Kolek's a defensive guy, but it gives them a significant advantage at guard. And they played so tough yesterday, and it's clear they feel like they need to win this tournament. I don't think so. I think if they win today, they should be in. But yeah, this is a really good spot for Providence. They just looked so good yesterday.
That's funny. No, that was not a trap, Andy. They thought I was putting you in a trap where I was going to get you to admit that you weren't working when you were supposed to be working.
He knows that he knows that the way that I work is I'll put my laptop on and I'll work while the games are on. That's what I was doing. I did it all before the Georgia game, so.
Hence why you see so many misspellings in our graphics.
Oh, it's so bad.
All right.
Failed English.
Toast, are we sweeping Providence?
No.
Without Kolek. You're gonna trust
Absolutely
you're gonna
not.
trust
Yeah,
him to win?
he hasn't played in a long time. I mean,
And they haven't looked that good.
That's null and void for me. They haven't looked that good. The only teams that they've lost to since January is UConn and Creighton. So they haven't looked that good, but they don't lose. Let's just take a look really quickly. Who has Villanova beaten? DePaul? Or I'm sorry, not Villanova. What's his face is Providence. Who is Providence beaten? Excuse me. Creighton? Okay, that was a good one. Georgetown? Trash. Georgetown? Trash. Xavier? Trash. DePaul? Trash.
Xavier's not trash.
Really? Oh, okay.
They're
All right.
respectable. They are respectable.
Yeah, Xavier's so good. Yeah, I just don't see it here. I don't trust Villanova in any, Providence in any way, shape, or form. I understand that they're everybody's darling team this year, but yeah, you can even make an argument that Marquette's going to be tired because they played an overtime game last night.
Yeah, they're going to be tired.
I lay it with Marquette.
I'm fading the tired team here.
Yeah.
Probably tired.
I'm going with Providence. I took the 4.5. I just took the money line too. I'm with Sean on this one. I think the Friars win. Marquette comes crashing down. Toast on a Marquette. Technically not. Toast is not on an island because the community agrees with Toast. Marquette, 49% to 37% wins the poll. Next game up. Let's talk some Pac-12.
What a scorcher this one should be.
Oregon and Arizona. Arizona looked impressive yesterday, and I know Sean had Arizona because I saw his tweet. We all had USC, but you know what? We said it on the show. We're like, this sucks. Yeah, we were like, this sucks. Everyone's taking USC. We're gonna lose. So Sean the only one up here that had Arizona yesterday. Actually, let's bring up Sean. Sean, are you going back to Arizona here?
Yeah, I'm going back to the well with Arizona. They're just a machine right now. They're third in points per game, second in rebounds, first in assists, and I just have not been impressed with this Oregon team so far. Decent wins, I guess, but they squeaked by Utah, came back, but then barely held on against UCLA last night. I just think this is a different level Arizona team that they're going to be facing here today, and I think Wildcats are going to run them out of the gym.
So Sean's on Arizona. Yeah, Andy works in the office here from Monday through Friday.
Oh, yeah.
So, Andy, do you agree with Sean?
Yeah, and I kind of feel like how Toast felt about Providence a little bit. Who have Oregon beat? I mean, not that in the Pac-12 are you getting a lot of opportunities to play great teams. I won't lie. The Pac-12 sucks this year, and you're not getting that many opportunities at all. But Oregon hasn't beaten a relevant basketball team.
Who is Arizona beaten?
Are you questioning Arizona's how good they actually are? Because that's crazy.
I'm just asking the same question you asked.
I mean, they're playing the same teams, but they're beating them at least. I mean,
like Oregon, who? Because they didn't beat Washington State.
Oregon, they go to Colorado. They play to Arizona. They lost by 20 to Arizona. Like, they're not every time Oregon has a step up in class, they're getting beaten pretty badly too. So this is the same spot. They're going up step in class. I mean, I don't see them covering this number at all.
All right, 2 on Arizona. Toast loves Arizona, so he's going to be with them.
No, I'm taking the points with the Ducks.
Yeah,
on Arizona.
Okay.
They're trying to Ducks are going to try to absolutely slow this game down to an absolute crawl. I really think that the guys like Kusnard and Shellstad can actually give these guys a little bit of issues. I like this Arizona team, but I'm actually not in love with Arizona like people think I do. I just think that Boswell can be really just show up and not play out of nowhere. He has really good nights, but he has really bad nights. We all know how Caleb Love can be. He has been very good for them. There's no question about that. But he hasn't played well the last couple of games. He looked like shit the first time against USC. He was decent yesterday. He was 1 for 5 with 11 points. He just isn't really playing that well. I mean, Dana Altman, look, he knows what he's doing. So with the world on the other side, I'll take my chances with them trying to muck this game up a little bit, slowing it down. And also, one other thing I want to point out is that Arizona does push the pace kind of in the conference but it's overall, it's really not that bad. I think they can end up slowing it down. So I'll take my chances with the Ducks.
Yeah, I'm with you. Ducks fly together. Just 2 of us Ducks on an island looking for the cover here. Let's go, Oregon. I don't like Arizona.
11.5 on BetMGM, guys.
See, what Andy said, he said, who is Oregon beaten?
Well,
and I responded with a simple question, who is Arizona beaten? And he was like,
I'm sorry, I didn't have Arizona's schedule pulled up. I got it now. They've beaten a lot of good teams.
Let's hear them.
Duke, Alabama, Wisconsin.
Last 3 weeks only. Last 3 weeks only.
3 weeks only.
Whoa. Why are you doing that? They're the same team. They don't have any injuries. They haven't brought anybody in.
November, December, they're just a
relative.
Because the question was, who have they beaten lately?
Yeah.
That's the question.
That's
so 3 weeks.
All right. So wait. Toast. You loved USC. They were the hottest team in basketball. They beat them. They beat them.
I like a lot of things.
Oregon also beat USC.
That isn't a good point on Andy. I suck right now. Don't use me in my words.
Fair. I should not have sided it with, Toast liked USC. That's on me.
I got USC at plus 6,500. It landed at plus 1,800.
I love the move in the goalposts.
4,000 points in CLB, literally.
3 top 5 seeds in the NCAA tournament.
68%, 18% on Arizona. So community heavily agrees with Andy and Sean there. Next up. And by the way, someone asked where they can get Sean's picks. I tweeted out and tagged his Twitter, but at the end, I'll show you where you can get his stuff. So Indiana, Nebraska. Andy, this is your moment. The whole world.
Andy
put his whole reputation riding on this Nebraska team.
Yeah.
He said Nebraska and Illinois were basically even.
And it got me just
Yeah, it got him
murdered on
roasted.
Twitter.
It got him roasted on Twitter. But if Nebraska is able to win this game, gets a shot at Illinois if they win tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
So you're on Nebraska here. You're sticking to your guns, right?
Yes, I'm not going off of that at all. This was actually the preferred matchup. I thought I don't know if it was a preferred matchup necessarily. I thought they were going to get a good matchup either way if Penn State won or Indiana won. I think they're just way better than this team. They are, when they're firing on all cylinders, which they were last week against Michigan. Obviously, Michigan sucks, but when you're playing well, you're playing well. They are playing well. Pretty much this was the one game I felt comfortable about in the Big Ten tournament. Tomorrow I will be nervous about this if Illinois wins. Obviously I think their matchup's a little harder. I'll give Indiana credit. They finally beat Penn State. That was a team that they struggled with this year, but I'm going to side Nebraska. I think it's a better team.
Toast, are you going to bat with Andy on the Huskers?
No, I will not.
Oh, no.
I'll be on the Hoosiers here. Give me the Hoosiers, whatever they are now. I said it yesterday, and it was one of the things I was right on, so I can actually stand and talk about this one, is that I just think that Indiana's playing some of the best basketball in the country right now, and I understand how garbage they've been for a while, but with Xavier Johnson back, it just gives them something that they haven't had all season, and I honestly, I'm not really – Nebraska has been very good. They've gotten hot at the end of the year, but the teams that they've beat on the road was this Indiana team, which is a very impressive. I'll give them that. And they lost to Ohio State and then Michigan. So these teams that they've beat on the road later in the season is really not impressing me right now. Like I said, I think Indiana is playing much better. And I just think that defensively, Indiana can stay in this game. They're number 2 as far as effective field goal percentage. They limit the 3-point shot very well. And another thing that I like that I know I talk about a lot is height. Indiana 4th in the country in height. Nebraska's in like the 130s. I just think that it's going to be a little bit too much. So I think with the world on the other side, I'll take Mike Woodson in 3.5 points with the Hoosiers. I
think Sean agrees with you because a couple of your points he was going like this.
No, I was just listening. I'm actually on Nebraska here. I do agree though that Indiana is playing some really good basketball at the moment, and I do like Mike Woodson as a head coach. That being said, I love Hoiberg here, and Nebraska has gotten better and better as the year is going on. They've already dominated Indiana twice. No reason for me to not think they can't do it again. And I know a lot of people like to say, like, oh, it's tough to beat a team 3 times, except it's actually not, and people do it all the time.
Florida did it last night. You're right.
It's actually not. So I'm putting Toast on an island. I'm with Sean and Andy here. I think Nebraska's been playing much better. And didn't they have a real nice road win recently that kind of put to bed, like, oh, Nebraska's only good at home?
They did.
Against Indiana.
Yeah,
oh.
Indiana, yeah.
Wow.
They finally won a
Gene
road
Hackman on his own home court. 60% of the poll on Nebraska there. So Toast is
shot 50% from deep in that game. I'll be okay.
Yeah, they've been lighting it up from deep all year, Toast. Toast on his own little Indiana Hoosier, his own little Gene Hackman island.
It's Nebraska ball. Let's go.
It's Nebraska ball. Nebraska ball.
I haven't played one favorite today. Every single team I'm taking points, 4.5 or more.
See how that works out for you.
It wasn't on purpose.
We got Alabama, Florida next. Good one here. I wish I was getting more points because I really do want to take Florida. I think look at the total, 170.5. That just gives you an idea of what the odds makers think this game is going to look like. I believe this game earlier, just a couple weeks back, was the highest total in the SEC this year. It was like 174.5 or something.
179.5.
Well,
I think it got up to 179 at tip.
That's wild. So yeah, you know what kind of game we're all expecting here. I mean, you would think in a back and forth, basket for basket type game, you'd like to have some extra points in your pocket, but I don't know. I want to hear what these guys say because I'm undecided right now. Andy, what would you do?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with what have you done for me lately from last night. I thought Florida played an awful basketball game. They were pretty much exposed early in the game, but they did regroup well. There are some caveats in there. They shot the worst percentage of an SEC team in an SEC tournament from the free throw line. I think they shot like 10 of 35 or something of that. It was a ridiculous stat. Tyrese Samuel missed a ton. What are you putting your hands up for?
They've been terrible free throw shooting team.
Yeah, they're
all
an
year
awful-
long. Like
yes,
one of
they're-
the worst in the country. So
yeah, they're an awful free
not
throw
gonna get
shooting
better.
team. That is the thing. They were, but I mean that was to a level I've never seen. Georgia was fouling them in the first half on purpose
Yeah.
because it was so bad. So,
That's the plan.
and their guards at the end of the game were literally just letting Georgia's guards go to the rim. So if Mark Sears and them can just hit layups tonight, they'll be fine. The zone was working. Nate Oates even said it. They're going to be working on a zone now because Florida literally couldn't do anything yesterday against it. So I'm on Alabama here. I think all signs from what Florida did last night point to Alabama being prepared, ready. They were probably preparing for Florida anyway. They knew they were going to beat Georgia anyway. So I think Alabama will be ready to run whatever they do. And I think if Florida plays like they did last night, this will be a cakewalk for Alabama because they played awful basketball last night.
Sean, ain't nothing but the Tide here.
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Tide. I like Florida, but I think this is a great spot for Alabama with Florida playing last night. Alabama loves to push the pace. They're going to jack threes, and they're going to crash the boards hard. I think Florida can hang with them for a little bit, but I think eventually Alabama pulls away with their fresh legs and the pace and style of play that they want to be at in this one.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be there too. Let's see what Toast says first, but I really want to get like 6 from Florida, but that's so unrealistic and would never happen. Toast, Tide?
Yeah, absolutely. There's just no question about that. I just really I think this is a focused spot for Alabama, who lost to this Florida team on March 5th in kind of an embarrassing fashion. And they didn't really look good in the last week or so, a couple weeks of the season, excuse me. They lost to Florida, Tennessee, and Kentucky all within the last couple weeks or whatever. So I actually think this is a nice focused spot for Alabama to come out and face a Florida team that I don't really trust in any way, shape, or form, especially defensively. So I understand Florida can limit the threes. That's one thing that they do very well. But Alabama inside can absolutely dominate with their layups and how they play basketball. So I have no problem laying a short number with Bama.
We're going to sweep here. Give me Alabama -4. I'm on Alabama also. 4 across the board, and the community's on Alabama. So we are a tied program today. 50%, 40% though. So there's definitely a lot of you out there that clicked Florida. Next game. San Diego State, Utah State. Mountain West Championship here? Is this what this is?
No, semifinal.
No, I know. I was seeing if you knew where.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
So it's San Diego State -3.5, Utah State +3.5, or pass. Poll is running. Go ahead and cast your votes. Toast. The Mountain West semifinal here. San Diego State wins yesterday, didn't cover. We both had San Diego State. Oh, no, you had UNLV in that. So
I did.
Are you going to fade San Diego State again?
What's the number? 3.5. Probably. I'm first of all, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what to make of this Utah State team, to be dead honest with you guys. They've played very well.
They were ranked recently, I think.
Yeah, they've played very well. They've actually played like a decent schedule. And regardless of what the Mountain West has done in the NCAA tournament, because that's one thing that's like the first retort that people want to say, but this Mountain West Conference is very good. I mean, all these teams in there are a lot of these teams in the Mountain West Conference, from Utah State, Nevada, Boise State, UNLV, San Diego State, even New Mexico. All these are solid teams. So these teams all have beaten up and have just beaten up each other. I just think that San Diego State looked decent yesterday, but coming off a game where they're in overtime. They're also, their last game before that was against Boise State. That was in overtime. And then the game before that, they lost. So at no point in the last couple weeks has San Diego State been playing basketball where they're head and shoulders above their competition. So I just have a hard time believing that they're going to come 12 hours later and be head and shoulders over a Utah State team that hasn't played in the tournament in a long time, has every motivation factor in the world to play well tonight and to be in a focused spot tonight. So yeah, I'll take the Utah State +3.5.
Yeah, that's probably the way I'm leaning too. I don't know much about these programs. Andy, you're leaning Utah State as well?
Yeah, you can pretty much copy and paste what he said. San Diego State's not playing elite basketball necessarily. I thought UNLV was going to win that game with the way they looked in that, but they just, for some reason at halftime, must have just decided not to play and gave it to San Diego State. San Diego State's not playing very well. Utah State, very good team. I like the motivation factor. They want to win this conference. San Diego State knows they're in anyway, obviously, and So I pretty much what Toast said, copy and paste it.
Sean, are we going to sweep here in this Mountain West game?
We are not, but to be honest, I don't love it, but I would only lay the points here with San Diego State. I just feel like they're the better team. Ken Pom has them rated higher. They're going to be a higher seed come tournament time than Utah State will be. And the line basically tells us that the books also believe that San Diego State is the better team. They split during the regular season with San Diego State winning by 14 and then Utah State coming back and beating them by 5. But yeah, it would be the Aztecs or nothing for me in this one.
So Sean jumps on the island. Doesn't sound like he's overly confident about it, and I don't think I'm going to bet this one either. I don't really know much about these teams. All right, so our poll almost
one thing. I just want to add one thing, Sauce. Keep in mind that Utah State is the number 1 seed in that conference. San Diego State, the number 5 seed. Just putting that out there.
46%, 43% San Diego State. So San Diego State slightly wins the poll, but it looks like the community's pretty split on this one as well. No real lean either way there. Baylor, Iowa State. Interesting one, and I got Sean up first for this one. This is a tough game to call here because I don't really think Baylor has looked all that great, but then they came out and beat Cincinnati convincingly. But do you really want to step in front of Iowa State? Sean, what are you doing here?
Yeah, again, this is not a game that I don't know if this is a game I'm going to be betting. But it would be the Cyclones or nothing for me in this one. Baylor's a scary team to bet against because when they're hot from 3, they can shoot it as good as anyone in the country. That being said, they only made 5 3-pointers last night versus Cincinnati, and now they run into the buzzsaw that is the Iowa State's defense. They've just been locked down, and I think they can frustrate the Bears enough to get this done and get a small cover here.
So Iowa State there. Scoops on Baylor. That's the way I'm kind of leaning. Let's see what Andy thinks.
Yeah, I'm also on Baylor. I think they'll just get enough on offense. I think yesterday, them missing those 3-pointers was Cincinnati was running on what do you call it? I guess
fumes.
And not fumes, no, because they were playing really well. I thought they just didn't have enough to get the game done because they did play well.
That would be fumes.
No. It was something else.
That's exactly what that phrase means.
It's exactly what I'm thinking of a different word, but I can't think of it. Whatever. I'm on Baylor. I think they're going to hit their shots today. They weren't hitting their shots yesterday, and they still won by 12. So yeah, I like this game, like this team. Iowa State, I thought getting Kansas State was a good draw for them because I think Texas might have beaten them. I don't think Kansas State ever had a shot. So I like Baylor.
Toast, are you with me and Andy, or are you with Sean?
I'm with Sean. And you guys know I love me some Baylor basketball. But the fact of the matter is these two teams played earlier in the year. It was a 2-point game when Baylor played at home. It was a fantastic game. I think it was almost a buzzer beater, but they barely missed it. But like you said, it's a hard time for me to believing that Baylor's going to miss all these shots, and then they're going to come back today against the number 2 defense in the country and start hitting a whole bunch of 3-point shots. Like, I just don't see that happen. So if it happens, so be it. Iowa State has all the motivation in the world here. They've never really done this in this spot. So I think this is one of their best teams that they've had. So I think all the motivation's there. I think that line is pretty telling. I'll take the better defense and more of a team that kind of needs it more in Iowa State.
I'm with you, Andy. I won't leave you on an island. I'm with you. Baylor. I actually want to bet this one too.
I did already. I like Baylor here.
I'm rolling with Baylor. I really like the way they looked in that overtime game. Was that against Houston or Kansas? That when they went to overtime and there was the foul at the end. Remember you were watching?
Houston.
That was Houston?
Yeah. They should have probably won that game.
Yeah, they kind of got screwed at the end, but I had them in that game, and I love the way they were playing in that game. Yeah. And ever since then, I knew in the back of my head, like, I'm going to back this team in a big game. And I think this is the big game I'm going to do it. I'm just going to take the 1.5 for a full unit. We're verifying your location. Same location I'm always in. Come on, dude. Are you really doing this to me right now, Caesars?
Oh, no.
All right, how about this? I am going to bet Baylor. You have my word on that. It's still, I don't know what's doing. So 55%, 39% on Iowa State there. So community is siding with Toast and Sean. Next up, NC State, Virginia. NC State, horseshoe up their ass, Toast?
I don't know. I really liked their matchup yesterday.
Me and you were the only two on them yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, you were? Nice.
Yeah, so that being said, I kind of want to go the other way in this one. I'm on the side with UVA here. They came through. I was also on Virginia yesterday. I laid the 4.5.
Yeah.
No, that's just a case of me knowing ball.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I'm back in the sure. I'm laying the 2.5 with Virginia here. Sticking with them. I like teams that play defense in March, man. This Virginia team, we saw them win it all a couple years ago. I like this Virginia team, and I kind of like how everyone else hates them. So it makes me like I feel like no one else has confidence in Virginia besides me. So I'm you know what? I'm betting this one too if Caesars will let me. Still verifying my location. Yeah, I'm on Virginia. Sounds like Toast is going to stick with the Wolfpack though.
Yeah, absolutely sticking with the Wolfpack. Defense is great, and it travels and all that stuff, but you have to score the basketball to win basketball games, and I'm just not there with Virginia, but I am there with NC State, who scored 94, 83, 74 in their last 3 nights. So, yeah, can they maybe have some tired legs because Virginia's only played 1 game, but I definitely think that Virginia should have lost that game yesterday. I truly believe that. And that offense is absolutely terrible. So NC State kind of little, like Kyle said, a horseshoe up their ass. But the one thing that I do like about NC State is the fact that they have guys like DJ Burns, who's a senior, DJ Horn, who's a senior, Taylor's a junior. I mean, so there's a lot of guys in here that I trust that have been in the ACC games before. So I also don't really like the fact that Virginia's going to try to slow this game down to an absolute crawl. I don't think NC State's going to try to speed it up. So I do think that points are going to be at a premium here. So I wouldn't be surprised if Virginia won by 1. Like these teams, Virginia likes to play close games. So I have no problem taking the points.
I think Sean's with me on this one, right?
Yeah, I'm with Virginia here. Like Tosh just pointed out, Virginia's going to try to slow this game down to a crawl, and their offense sets basketball back decades. But that being said, I cannot ignore the fatigue factor here. This will be NC State's 4th straight night playing, while Virginia, this will only be their 2nd game. I think the fresh legs and the style of play Virginia wants to play, it's going to make that fatigue even worse. So yeah, I'm laying the points here with the Cavaliers.
I just did it too. I just switched over to FanDuel and it worked fine. So, Andy?
I'm going to side Virginia, but I will say that I don't think the fatigue's going to play a factor. I just think they're going to win the game, and by a couple of points. If it was a 1-point game,
it better be more than a couple, Andy. The line's 2.5.
I think it'll be 3 or 4, a lot like yesterday, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was a 1-point game, but I don't think it'll be fatigue. I think when you're playing a slow game against Virginia, you're fine. The fatigue's not going to kill you.
Thank you, Andy.
Like, they're going to slow the game down. That's going to benefit NC State. Don't get me wrong. As much as they don't want to play at that pace. I think it'll just be Virginia's this good defensively that as good as NC State's offense has been, when you play Virginia, your offense is not what it was last game. It's not going to be that. They're going to stop you. You're going to have to just do enough on your side defensively, because if they can just do enough, they'll beat you, and I think they will. Virginia, I thought they were going to lose last night when I was watching that game. BC looked like they had a magic run going where they were going to get to the ACC championship. Would have been very interesting, but they did what they needed to do. That's pretty much what Virginia does. They do everything that they need to do to win these games, so I'm on Virginia.
No, Jimmy Harvest, you're on the wrong side, bro. So community is siding with Toast there. 53%, 40% in favor of NC State. So community's riding the horseshoe, the lucky Wolfpack team.
1 person made a compelling argument, 3 didn't. That's how I took that.
Okay. All right. Next up, Colorado, Washington State. Man, I have no idea what to do here.
Welcome to the club.
I want to fade Washington State because ever since the Arizona game, I think they're overvalued. But we're gonna lay 2.5 to them.
Not happen again, dude. He's gonna.
Yo, hello.
Okay.
Yo.
Oh, my internet cut out for a second. Did we go off the air?
I think we did. Yeah.
Whoa.
I gotta check my phone.
I don't know. This still says
Wait. I think we're back.
Are we back?
I think we're back.
Are we back?
Check. I just want to see if
Still
it comes through on my phone.
You said
No,
you
that wasn't. Someone said you got to get that generator running. It wasn't power. I think my internet cut out for a second.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, cool.
Okay, good.
Sorry about
Okay.
that. So anyway, but now I want to fade Washington State, but now that they're catching 2.5 from a Colorado team I don't even really like, now it seems like this is the time to take Washington State. So that's what I'm going to put up. Depending on what these guys say, if one of these three guys makes a compelling argument for Washington State, I'll jump in on it. But as of right now, it's Washington State or pass. Sean, you touching this one or nah?
Nah, this is gonna be a hard pass for me. I think Colorado's the better shooting team. They have the advantage at the line. But I give the edge defensively to Washington State, and they both are physical teams. To me, this probably should be a pick 'em, so I would probably, gun to my head, I'd probably take the points for Washington State. But I really have no interest in betting aside in this one.
Andy, so it looks like Sean kind of feels the same as me.
I feel the same way. I really don't love the game to bet. But if I was to pick a side, I'd pick Washington State. I do think they're getting a little disrespected by this line. Colorado did look good yesterday, but again, they were playing Utah away from Utah, which we pretty much said was free money at that point. So I think you're getting the better team, and they're underdogs. So that's really all I got.
Toast, are you sweeping Cougs?
No, I'm on Colorado here. I think that the books have it right here. Colorado has been sneaky, very good since the beginning of February, really. They lost to this Washington State team in Utah on a back-to-back road trip. And then they beat Arizona, and then they lost another game to they beat Arizona State, then they lose to Arizona, they lose the road game to UCLA, and then since then they have a double overtime win against USC. They've been rolling. Utah, Cal, Stanford, Oregon State, Utah again on a neutral. And the thing that impresses me most about all those games that I rattled off, 3 of those games were on the road. One of them was on a neutral. And if there's one thing that you can say about Tad Boyle is that he can't play on the road in the neutral. This team, for whatever reason it is, they've got a horseshoe up their ass, if that's the saying of the day or whatever. But KJ Simpson looks fantastic. Eddie Lampkin has a lot of experience down low. So yeah, I just think that this Buffalo's team's absolutely rolling right now. So I'll take Colorado minus 2.5.
Someone said Toast depression is starting to rub off on me. I was in a good mood before I started watching.
I feel that, bro. I feel that.
Oh, shit. That's funny. So community actually leans towards Colorado here. So, man, maybe I'm missing something. I thought Washington State plus 2.5, that that's where everyone would be clicking. But,
Well, yeah, that's what the books want, Square.
okay, that's why everyone clicked Colorado. Speaking of Colorado, how about Colorado State versus New Mexico? Are the Rams live here, Toast?
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, this Colorado State team, I just don't know what to think of them. Like, I truly thought after they beat San Diego, there was a week in February they beat San Diego State, Boise State. They looked really well. And then, like, since then, they lost 3 games in a row to two beat teams were really bad. One of them was UNLV at the time they were playing bad. San Diego State beat them. And now here they are, and they're on a 4-game win streak. But look at the teams they beat: Wyoming, Air Force, San Diego State, and Nevada. Nevada yesterday was a very solid win for them. I'll give them that. But I'll be on New Mexico here. I'm not in love with it just because New Mexico hasn't been playing fantastic either. Like, if I'm giving shit to Colorado State, as much shit has to go to New Mexico. I mean, they're literally winning and losing every other game. Give or take. So, and then also the 2 teams that they've beat, Air Force and Boise State. Boise State's obviously a very good team. Air Force is trash, but I just think that New Mexico has too much going for them with House, Dent, Mashburn, all that stuff. Colorado State really has Isaiah Stevens, and that's about it. So I think maybe Nico's a little bit better than Patino. I don't know, but I just think that this New Mexico is a better team. So overall, and New Mexico does not turn the ball over offensively, which is one thing that Colorado State usually has an advantage on when they don't. But I think this turnover battle is going to be pretty damn equal. So I'll take my chances with New Mexico.
That sounded good to me. Andy, do you agree with Toast? And also, Andy, next time it's see on your pick graphic, it's UNM, not NMU. But go on. And you're muted, sir.
I said that was a good point. Can't believe I did that. All right. I'm on Colorado State. I think this one's going to come down to Nico Medved needing this. I don't know if I said that last name right. They need this. They're a really good team. I think they're better than New Mexico. He's right, though. They've let us down a little bit lately, but I think they're going to regroup and get this one back. A lot of people are on Patino's New Mexico's team. This has kind of been a given that they're going to win this conference recently. I think a lot of people have said that on Twitter, and I saw everybody's kind of just putting New Mexico in the first four. I don't agree. I think Colorado is going to win this game and knock out New Mexico. So I'm on Colorado State.
I disagree, Andy. Sean, you getting involved in this Mountain West game here?
Yeah, I love New Mexico.
You love New Mexico.
Was on them last night. Came through for me, and I'm going to back them again tonight. When it comes to tournament play, it's guard play, guard play, guard play, guard play for me is one of the most important factors that I look for when I'm backing a team. And New Mexico has a plethora of them. 3 guards on the roster averaging over 14.5 points. They shoot it well. They pass the ball. They get good looks. And I'm backing them here. And also, New Mexico, a win probably solidifies their resume to get them into the dance. So this is a huge game for them. They should be highly motivated.
I'm in. I'm with it. Both Sean and Toast both sounded like they like New Mexico too. Sean is definitely in on New Mexico. Toast sounded pretty confident on that side too. I have no problem fading Andy, putting him on an island. Give me the Lobos. Just bet it on Caesars. Our poll is leaning towards New Mexico. 55%, 29% on the Lobos. So community agrees with us. Andy is truly on a Colorado State island.
Good.
So that was the last game. How about a community parlay, shall we?
Get it.
So let's get that started real quick.
I can't wait to see Kentucky find their way into this.
You can't wait for that?
It's a given, in my opinion.
It's a given.
Kentucky's going to find
Yeah,
their
I
way
can see
into this
Kentucky
parlay.
money line. They're a 6-point favorite.
Happens every time they play, I feel like, unless they're the...
Do you guys
Even
remember who won the poll, Michigan State or Purdue?
I can see if we can get up.
I think Purdue won.
Yeah, I think Purdue did win, yeah. Mississippi State, Wisconsin, Mississippi State, Tennessee. I don't even know. I don't remember. We'll skip that one. Wisconsin, Northwestern, Wisconsin won that. South Carolina, Auburn. South Carolina won it definitely. And UConn, St. John's, UConn. All right, we're on the first leg of the community parlay. And while they're voting, so Sean's Twitter is right there, SRedden Sports under his name. If you follow me, I tagged him in my last tweet. I said, Sean's joining us, and I tagged him. So if you follow me, just go to my page and you go right to his page. And where he posts his stuff. You have a Patreon, right, Sean?
I'm actually on Dub Club now.
Oh, that's right. I knew that. You told me that. So yeah, it's all right in his page. So just go to his Twitter.
The link's in my bio.
Yeah, whatever you're looking for from him is right there in his Twitter. So it looks like Purdue moneyline is going to sneak in. Yeah, I can just end this poll now because over 50% of you are taking Purdue moneyline.
Clowns.
Clowns. He calls the viewers clowns. Clowns.
It's just
Respectfully.
like Purdue in a big game is just never a safe spot.
We're gonna sweat this community parlay out now. I think. I won't call them clowns because I think they're gonna lose. I think they're gonna win, but we're gonna sweat it out now. Like this isn't going to be. That's not a given.
I'm comfortable on my Purdue island. All three of you took Michigan State. I'm comfortable on my island. All right, next up.
Fade is Owen March. Do it.
Illinois money line.
Mike.
Oh no, Ohio State won that poll.
Yeah. Yeah.
A&M. I'm sorry. Yeah, Kentucky money line.
Yeah.
I think that's going to get into.
You know what though? Houston might get in over it. It got matched up with Houston
and North Carolina, but I think Pitt won that poll. No, North Carolina did. Wow, there's a lot of public darlings here. There's Houston, North.
3 teams where usually they get picked if they're in it.
Yeah, Kentucky, Houston, North Carolina. They're going to have to choose.
Ohio State doesn't stand a chance here, right?
Nah.
Yeah.
The dog leg should be Providence.
I like this comment
If
right
yeah,
here.
if there was one, I would say that.
Yo, look at Flex.
Is this the one where everyone called?
Yeah, look at Flex putting Andy in his place here. I like it.
All right. I will say that when I agree with it, I would play it. I don't have Purdue. I don't think Purdue's a given. I'm not gonna play it.
I'm gonna print this out and have it hung in the office.
Do it. Good. I will play it if I agree with it, but I don't necessarily agree that Purdue is going to next.
He goes, so sit the fuck down. So Houston makes it in. We're off to a really chalky start.
That's
But
just
hey,
the start.
you know what? Every time I make fun of the community for a chalky parlay, they end up hitting. So maybe it's a good thing. Purdue money line, Houston money line, and let's see what the next one's going to be. Let's keep on scrolling down the list. We got, where'd we leave off here? Providence, Marquette. They took Marquette, right? No, I don't know. We all took Providence. Did they take?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know who won that poll.
Let's go. Oh, I'm gonna put Marquette up. Arizona. Oh, they definitely took Arizona. That's a chalky one there. Indiana, Nebraska. They definitely took Nebraska too. Heavy. And Florida, Alabama. They took Alabama won slightly. It did win though. All right. What's the third leg of this poll?
I think Arizona wins easily.
I know, which means
Yeah,
this
and
is
it
gonna be
sucks 'cause
really
I think Alabama
chalky.
would. Yeah, Alabama would juice this a little bit because like only minus 180 or something like that.
Quack, quack.
Homie with the big feet says, Toast, I know things are bad right now, but at least Gonzaga can't hurt you anymore.
What are you talking about? They're going to be in the tournament. They're going to hurt me here. In like
Yeah,
a
but I
week or
know
two.
that you've probably already mentally prepared for them to lose first round.
No, I'm preparing for them to make another Sweet 16 run like they always do.
Did you talk about Houston?
No, Gonzaga.
Oh,
Oh,
Gonzaga. Oh yeah, Gonzaga. Gotcha.
Arizona money line makes it. This is a chalky one here. Let's see what else we got left. So we got Iowa State, Baylor.
What's the third leg?
They were on Iowa State there. The third leg is Arizona. They were on Iowa State in that game. NC State, Virginia. They were on NC State in that one.
Guys, we need to get something somewhat juicy. We're still in the minus 130 range.
Yeah.
All three.
Washington State or Colorado? Do you know who won that poll?
I can
No,
go back.
Colorado did. Because remember, I was like, well, I thought everyone would be on Washington State.
Yeah, Colorado won.
And then Colorado State, New Mexico won it. All right. None of these are big favorites here, Toast. So we should get the odds juiced up a bit. So it's not insane.
I was just letting everybody know what was going on.
You just keep everyone in the loop. That's what you're doing?
I
Like,
mean, I can't hit one game. I'm not going to hit a
It's
parlay.
like a LaShawn McCoy parlay.
Oh, shady.
I was cracked up when I think it was like his first time on Fox. He was like, "Hit this parlay, get with me for picks," and it was like minus 350, like the whole parlay.
Sean, are you excited to bring Saquon Barkley into Philadelphia?
I am. It's hard to not be excited. I don't love paying a running back that. I would prefer to just pay less and brought Swift back and just actually fucking use him. But it's hard to not be excited what Saquon could bring to the offense.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is an upgrade over Swift. I just don't think it's like an insane, like the whole offense is different now because you have Barkley instead of Swift.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as big of a headline. As, obviously, Saquon Barkley's a superstar, so it's going to make headlines. But as far as like the Eagles this year, I don't think like the needle has moved much for me. I think the same of the Eagles today that I did last week.
Did
And
they
I'm
get
not
somebody on
crazy about
defense,
like
too?
everybody was hyped about the Huff signing too. I'm not.
They just got White. They just got Devin White.
Yeah, they got Devin
Nah.
White. That's big.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite signing of the whole offseason.
What you don't like that guy that got hurt, Nakobe Dean?
He's just small. Like I think he's always gonna be hurt every year.
Yeah, and I remember we and Prop people were laughing because his PFF coverage grade, I think it was, or there was something where it's like we'd never seen something that low. It was like a 12. Maybe it was his tackling. No, I think it was his coverage. Someone have a sports book out?
228.
228. All right, so this is some chalk here, guys. We got Purdue money line, Houston money line, Arizona money line, Iowa State money line at plus 228. Thanks, Sean, for joining. Make sure you guys go and follow him. Took his time out of his day to come join us and run through these games. Yeah, let's have ourselves a better day than yesterday.
Hard not to.
It's only for toast.
Only up from here, right?
Only way to go for toast is up. I'm gonna post my favorite 5 on the website again, like I did yesterday. Mine went 2 and 3 yesterday, so hopefully you can get 3 and 2 or better today. And then I'll be back for the NBA at 4 p.m. We have Crispy Cap'n joining me and Prop Beaver. So if you want to be here for the NBA show, see you in 4 hours. I'll be in the Discord in between then too. Everyone, have a good day. Make sure you bet responsibly. See you in a few hours.